Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. I received a $10 tip. Now, hold on. It is from BB Phil. Thank you, BB Phil. Let's see what BB Phil has to say today. He says, have you ever done in-person events where people can hug you and get your autograph, or is that kind of stuff not possible because of your special situation with people trying to disrupt the event and even trying to inflict bodily harm on you? Oh my God. I think pictures of you hugging people and laughing with them sends a positive message to your haters and the world as a whole. Oh my God. All right. So I guess I gotta go through my history now. So, as you know, I've been a content creator for 16 years. All right? In my early days as a creator, I don't think anyone cared enough, or I didn't care enough, that I would ever think that anyone would want to come meet me in person. But what ended up happening was, I'd say probably around the year 2011, that desire started to spread. People started to say, hey, are you ever going to go out to a convention or a tournament or somewhere where we can meet you and interact with you? And I remember at one point, I went to a Street Fighter tournament, because, you know, Street Fighter 4 was still quite big back then. And when I went, I mean, I had no intention of meeting with fans or anything like that. I was just there to play in the tournament and do some videos and have a good time. Some fans came up to me and were like, hey, you know, it's nice that we're meeting you here. We're here because we heard you were going to the tournament. We wanted to meet you. And they had me autograph a few things. Like, I think one of them had me sign their game, one of the games that I had played, and they loved my playthrough. Another one had me sign, like, a notebook. And they gave me, like, gifts. You know, like, no exaggeration. You may not be aware of this. Do you see this Sonic the Hedgehog figure behind me? That was given to me by a fan at a tournament. They just said, hey, this is something, you know, I love you did some Sonic content. And, you know, I wanted to give you a little thing, something. I was like, wow. And so here it is, arguably 12, 13 years later, and I have the Sonic figure here in my content, you know, because, hey, I remember, I keep that stuff. It means a lot to me. I mean, I still got a mug downstairs that looks like an E-Tank from Mega Man that was given to me by a fan over a decade ago, and I use it regularly. That's one of my coffee mugs that I use all the time, right? I love that kind of stuff, and I'm so appreciative of that over the years. So, anyway, after that, I remember returning from that tournament and telling the story in my content, saying, wow, it was really nice that a couple people came up to me at this event and said hello and gave me a gift. And people were like, well, yeah, well, you know, we really like you. We want to meet you. We want to do that. I was like, really? So I remember I went to Connecticon, which was a convention in Connecticut. And I went to that, and people came out to meet me and stuff. And after that, people were like, well, you know, you're popular enough. Why don't you actually be like a guest at a gaming convention? And I was like, would there really be demand for that? And the first time that I ever attempted to do this, it was a huge disaster. So I was supposed to go to this event called Too Many Games in, man, I can't remember where it was. Was it Philadelphia or something like that? I think it was something like that. So I was big enough at the time that I was going to be one of the two featured guests at the event. It was going to be me and the Angry Video Game Nerd, or the two featured guests at this event. Okay? So I'm going to have a panel. I'm going to have a booth where I can sign stuff. We go to this event. It's one of the biggest traffic jams in the East Coast history at the time. No exaggeration. It was supposed to take like 2 hours to get there. We were on the road for 7 hours. Bumper to bumper traffic. There was multiple accidents on the highway at that time. And it was a nightmare. We ended up getting there so late that the panel was already over with. Like, we missed the panel. We missed everything. It really sucked. But some fans stayed late just to meet with us anyway. And it was really nice of them to do that, but it was really disappointing because, you know, we had wanted to be there for the fans and do special stuff, and we showed up super duper late. So then what ended up happening was I went to 2 different gaming conventions. One was MagFest, and one was the next year's Too Many Games. And at those, it went well. I had a panel where people showed up. They really were interested in hearing about me and my content and asking me questions. And John Rambo and my other friends were there with me to answer questions about our content and stuff like that. Had a booth where people lined up for autographs and or for me to sign, you know, merchandise or documents and stuff like that. And so it worked out well. 2 different conventions basically I went to where people really were interested in doing that. Yes, I took photos with people and stuff like that. And by the way, for the record, I never charged for any of it. While other people tend to charge for autographs and shit, I didn't do that at all. I said, I'm not important. I'm not someone, I'm not, you know, I don't know why people think that you should pay for someone's autograph like a celebrity. That's ridiculous. I would never do that. Just come and get everything for free, which everybody did. Okay? So, I did that for a couple of conventions. The last convention where I ever did anything at like that was Screwtack Gaming Convention in 2013. Okay? Get Jasper Kitty off my lap now because he's being silly. And in that one, not only did I have a booth where people could meet me, and you know, I think I had a panel. I can't even remember, but I also entered something called the Iron Man of Gaming competition, and I got to the finals, the top like 8 or 10 who played on stage at the end. So that was really cool. But after that, after 2013, a couple of things happened. Okay, the first thing was I was planning to move out of Connecticut. So instead of me being focused on, oh, I'm going to spend my money traveling and doing all this stuff, I decided to save up my money and to essentially try to make it so that I was going to move across the country to a different place. And when I did that, you know, that was my focus. So I wasn't going to spend time, you know, traveling and doing stuff like that when I was saving my money for a big move. Okay. That was number one. Number two, all right, basically my popularity, this is when it started to wane around that 2014, 2015 period. This is when This Is How You Don't Play blew up in popularity. This is when the internet started being very toxic towards me. And because of that, I kind of felt like that was the turning point. Like, there was a time prominent in 2011, 12, 13, where I was popular enough that people would come out and meet me and want to do stuff at events. But after that, it just seemed like when I moved across the country here 10 years ago, that was it. Like, that was the big thing that everyone just started to hate me. And I, you know, again, it was weird because it wasn't that I had changed my attitude, I had changed my content or anything like that. I was the same guy, but all of a sudden everyone hated me. Like, so let me get this straight. From 2008 to 2013, I could do the same thing and everyone loves me. All of a sudden, 2014 hits, now the whole internet hates me. But I haven't changed. So what did? Right? Anyways, this is culture. The culture of the internet changed. And it made a lot of things change for the worse, in my opinion. Everyone was into people now who had high production value, who did cross collaborations, who kissed butt in the industry to get free games early, all the stuff that I didn't stand for. I was always the kind of guy that was just me and my very close-knit friend group doing content, having fun. That's all it was about. It was about guys having fun with games. It wasn't about this is a product to be manufactured, polished, and pushed out on YouTube for popularity purposes or in any intention of blowing up in popularity and making money. It was just supposed to be for the love of the game. You know what I'm saying? And it just changed. It really did. The whole industry on YouTube changed. But I didn't. And because I stayed true to myself, I definitely became the laughing stock whipping boy meme of the internet. Oh, this guy who's a dinosaur and won't change and he sucks at games and he makes fun of game devs and he sucks and fuck him, you know? But again, I was exactly the same dude. Like, I was literally the same guy. Nothing had changed. The things that made me popular for 5 years and now were making me the butt of the joke of the internet. Okay? Anyway, at that point, when I moved, that was it. So I just stopped traveling. I stopped going to conventions. I stopped anything. In truth, the real reason was I couldn't afford it. When I moved, I basically put myself into a financial hole. I overspent on the move and to furnish this house and things like that. And I had a giant hit to my income within the first year of living here. My income was up here. And then with copyright strikes and all this negative attention, my income went from up here to like here, like halved. And when my income got halved, it was like, now I'm fucked. Now I'm in such a financial hole, just trying to make ends meet. And I was like that for a long time. I was stuck in that rut for about 5+ years, you know? It is what it is. That's life, right? But that's water under the bridge at this point. But yeah, at that point, I stopped doing any kind of in-person events whatsoever, and I haven't done one since. In reality, today, if I were to try to do something like that, no convention would want me. 0 conventions would ever want me as a guest. I'm too small time. I'm too negative, right? Like, no one would want to be associated with a guy who gets constant stalked, harassed trolls on the internet, right? No one. It sucks, because back then it was the opposite. Everyone liked me and my content, and now today I have a small group of people who like my content and a large group of basically life losers who just want to crap on me constantly, and they would probably try to fuck with it. Like, honestly, even if a convention were trying to have me in a positive light, you'd probably have a bunch of toxic shitheads who would try to go and ruin it, say fucked up, awful things, you know, ruin it for everyone who's trying to be a positive person, you know? Do I think that someone would try to attack me? No. No one's going to do that. These kind of people are antisocial losers. They sit in fucking their homes and do things behind their computer. They don't come out in person to do shit, all right? They don't. They're fucking idiots. So, no, they're not going to come out and try to murder me at a convention. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, okay? But they absolutely would try to do dumb shit. So, you know, that's it. Like, what can I say? I won't know. I'm probably never going to have any event where I meet up with fans and we shake hands and take pictures and autographs ever again. I don't think so. To be honest, I'm just in a different place in my life. When I was younger and I was in those early days of YouTube, you know, I was free to kind of do whatever I wanted. I didn't have a family or anything. And I was like, well, I got all this time. What do I want to do? Let's go to a convention and vlog it, and let's do this and that. Today, I don't have enough time to spend with my family as it is. Like, I wish I had more time to spend with my wife and Jasper Kitty here and everyone. I don't. I'm in this office 6 days a week, full-time working, just to make ends meet. So I can't take days off to go to a convention and meet fans and do autographs and things like that. You know what I'm saying? There you go. All right.
I got the drip going. 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 It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.